In this video, I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to know about stretching, when to stretch, when not to stretch, and how should you stretch. My name is Neyfi Del Rosario, and I am a holistic nutritionist and best-selling author here in New York City. And in this channel, I discuss everything about nutrition, fitness, and exercise that'll help you melt that fat off. And if you're into that, please consider subscribing. My mission is to inspire you to become the healthiest version of yourself using the power of nutrition. If you're someone that's looking to lose weight, I wrote a book, Health Freedom, Your Way to Success for You. In this book, I discuss every mindset change that I went through and how you can apply it to your own life and have a successful weight loss and healthy lifestyle. And if you read my book, I really appreciate it. So stretching is a very important part of our lives because stretching helps us stay very flexible, mobile, it prevents injuries, it's very good for your joints, it's very good to stretch. But I get questions, in what situations should you stretch? Is it good to stretch before working out with weights? Is it good to stretch after you run, before you run? So I'm here to tell you what exactly you need to do. So let's discuss a more common one, which is lifting weights. And the only thing I'm gonna tell you, you should never ever stretch before lifting weights. Imagine that your muscles is like a rubber band, like this heart monitor here. So when you stretch, you're stretching that rubber band, right? But what happens to the body is that rubber band does not come back where it was. You stretch it and it kind of stays there. And what can happen is that when you are working out, and let's say you're doing your chest and you see this guy stretching the chest out and doing all this crazy type of stretching, because their muscles are already stretched out, they're basically becoming weaker. They're not strong as if they would not stretch because their muscles would have been very tight, very responsive. So when you stretch before doing an exercise, you're basically putting your muscles in a state that you can get injured because you'll not be able to lift as much weight as you usually do. You also will be weaker and your muscles will be really cold, so you can get injured if you ever stretch before working out. Can you stretch when you lift weights? Yes, you should stretch after you lift weights, right? You're done with your workouts, you did everything you needed to do on the gym that day, then you can go to the corner where people normally stretch and stretch it out. It's okay. Second question that I get the most, because I mostly do cardio. So should you stretch before you run? Yes, you should always stretch before doing any repetitive type of cardio like running. I prefer doing dynamic stretching, and if you want to find a very good dynamic stretching tutorial, you can just go on YouTube, type dynamic stretching for running, cycling, whatever, and you can find something that will help you with your run. Why do I stretch before running? Is that I'm gonna be running for so long outside, at least 8 miles. I need to feel warm before I run. So before you run, you can either do two things. You can do a dynamic stretch where you can stretch your body doing similar movements as in doing lunges, twisting your back, make sure your body is fully warm, right? Or you can just walk for 15 minutes before you do your run. But if you really wanna stretch before you go for a run, you should always do some type of dynamic stretching. That's what I like to do. You can do static stretching after you run. Again, just like in weights, if you want to do the dynamic stretching, do it after. The static stretching, do it after. What about other types of cardio, as in cycling or swimming? Well, when I'm on the bike, I don't necessarily stretch before I get on the bike. Most of the time I'm sprinting, I'm putting out a lot of power. And again, if I stretch and I make my muscles weaker, it will not be ideal for me to go as hard as I can. What I like to do, if you're gonna do cycling or swimming, just do it very slowly, warm up. You can warm up on a static trainer 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can go out on your bike ride. You don't necessarily need to stretch for that, since cycling is very easy on your joints. Also for swimming, I don't swim a lot, but if I had to do it, I could do some dynamic stretching with my arms. Warm up my shoulders, warm up my upper back if I'm gonna do swimming. But again, you can just swim, warm up, and then go really, really hard. So to recap again, never stretch before doing weights. You should only stretch when you go to the gym after lifting weights. That way you prevent injuries and your muscles are more powerful to put out more weight. You should always do some type of dynamic stretching when you're gonna run. I always do that, of course. And if you're gonna do a very low impact exercise as cycling and swimming, you can warm up while doing that exact same exercise, but slower, right? Go slower on your bike, go slower on swimming, and then once you're warm up, once you feel like, yeah, you can give it your all, go right ahead. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, because I'll be putting out weekly videos just like this one to inspire you to become the healthiest version of yourself using the power of nutrition. And if you want to learn something new from me, here are 2 videos in the screen. You can learn something new right now. I love every single one of you.